Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the webinar on integration of Candy with BuildSmart. My name is Marnus Jansen van Rensburg. I'm a technical consultant here at the CCS Centurion office in Gauteng, a city in South Africa. It is my pleasure to present the webinar to you. Today, I will be showing you the integration of Candy with BuildSmart. We will explain how integration of Candy with BuildSmart can benefit you as our client. Due to the large number of people logged into this webinar, we will not be able to answer any questions during the webinar. However, please submit your questions during the session with the provided function on screen. At the end of the webinar, we will collate these questions and send the answer to everyone that registered for this webinar via email. Please note that the webinar will be recorded and you will receive a link to download it. There is a webinar once a month on various Candy topics. Should you not be able to attend the webinar at the given time frame, please register for the webinar, as this will entitle you to receive a recorded copy of the webinar. Let's get started. CCS has two main product offerings, which is Candy and BuildSmart. Candy is the estimation, planning and project management solution, and BuildSmart is the complete ERP accounting system designed for the construction industry. CCS complete solution is based on the ability of Candy and BuildSmart to integrate with each other. In this webinar, we will discuss why do you integrate Candy and BuildSmart, what can be achieved by integration, and then I will demonstrate in Candy and BuildSmart what it has to offer. Why integrate? Candy estimating is priced using first principle pricing. These resources have wastage applied to them. BuildSmart has all the real-time cost captured against the project. Candy Subcontract Manager can be used to appoint, manage, and generate certificates for subcontractors using items from the main bill. At the estimation stage, seeing that all pricing in Candy should be done from first principles with clear and distinct resource definitions, the complete priced bill of quantities will provide the buying schedule for the project. Candy applies engineering information against the bill items to calculate total utilization quantity for each resource, and built into this will also be the wastage quantity. Added to this will be the resource definition with a resource unit cost rate, resource cost allocation against that resource. This will provide the procurement team with complete allowable definitions to help stay within their budget. At valuations, revised resource list can be sent to BuildSmart to update quantities resources as many times as required, due to VOs and additional work awarded to the project. At cost and allowables, real-time cost can be sent to Candy from BuildSmart at a task and cost code level to provide to-date cost, remaining cost, cost at completion with the BuildSmart imported cost. Candy Subcontract Manager. In the Candy Subcontract Manager, subcontract packages can be created and sent to BuildSmart for subcontract recon. Subcontract progress measures can be captured and sent to BuildSmart for payment. I will now go into Candy and BuildSmart and show you the following. Requirements for successful upload. Candy resource upload to BuildSmart. Information upload from Candy to BuildSmart procurement. How and when to upload. The upload process. Procurement process in BuildSmart using Candy resources. Standard requisitions. Restrictions. Candy items subcontract certificates to BuildSmart. Processing subcontract payment certificates. Import actual cost to date from BuildSmart to Candy. The below information from Candy will be uploaded to BuildSmart procurement. All the simple estimate resources, resource final rates, resource final quantity, wastage quantity, cost code, and task code allocation. The following checks must be done in Candy before uploading the information to BuildSmart. Cost codes and their definitions in Candy must be the same as the GL codes in BuildSmart. All simple resources must have cost codes. The complex resources should not have cost codes. Resource units in Candy must be the same or can be mapped to BuildSmart units of measure on import. Candy bill items may not be priced using plug and split rates. All Candy items must be priced using worksheets. All bill items must have final quantities. The task codes in Candy must be the same as the activity codes in BuildSmart. All the bill items must have task codes. All unused price codes and resource codes must be deleted. Please note deleted price codes and resource codes will be stored in the recovery bin and can be recovered if required. When to upload? Typically, post-contract stage. Once the tender has been won, re-engineering for worksheets can be done, refined methods to be used, and actual pricing for resources Pre-measure of final quantities is essential because the resource allowable is always uploaded using the final resource usage. During execution, monthly valuations will be done coinciding with the close of cost date, typically the 25th of the last day of the month. Progress is captured on bill items using actual quantities in Candy valuations. The final quantities can also be revised in order to upload and revise resource budgets in procurement. Valuation items can also be priced in Candy and budgets are uploaded. First, we will go through the checks. I'll click in estimation on the blue hammer, go to cost codes and ensure that all my cost codes are the same than BuildSmart. These cost codes can be imported from an Excel file that can be exported from BuildSmart. Once I've checked these, I'll click on OK, go to my blue book, open my resource list with cost code allocations, right click on my cost codes, filter blank codes, cost codes, simples only, no items has been found, therefore I know that my cost codes have been allocated. Next I'll check my pricing, so I'll click on check and review, confidence check. My confidence check will then show me that no items have been unpriced. There's 257 worksheets, no split rates and no plug rates. I therefore have all the requirements needed. I'll click on OK, go to the blue book again, go to estimation and open my standard bill of quantities. Right click on my final quantity, which is a column I simply added to this document. Click on filter, filter for blanks, no items has been found. Therefore, I have all my final quantities allocated. Next, I need to check my task codes. To do that, I'll click on my blue hammer, go to my task codes and ensure that they have all been generated and defined in the definitions and settings. I'll then click on OK, go to the blue book, open my ball with codes and factors. In the task code column, filter for blanks, no items have been found. I therefore have all the requirements needed. Now I will go and do the BuildSmart integration. This is done under Advanced, BuildSmart Integration, and then we have several options here. I'm just going to explain everything and then I'll do the transfer. First, we need to set up the transfer. This is a company-specific login and password. It is not your BuildSmart login details. If you do not have this information, we can supply this to you. As you can see, our organization is Candy Demo and we have a password there. So I'm just going to test the connection. Once I've tested the connection and it's successful, I'll click on OK. Then you can also view the budget document here. This is just simply shows you the budget document that will be sent to BuildSmart. You can also go and validate your data, right? So those checks that I just did manually, we have inputted a button here, validate data, that will run through all the checks for you and tell you that your coding is valid. So you therefore do not have to do the manual checks as I've shown you before. Then we'll set the contract number. So this contract is 009. So I'll click on OK. And then I'm ready to transfer the budget and resources now. So I'll click on transfer budget. Yes, that is correct. And now this has been stored in the intermediate server to be imported into BuildSmart. I'll go to BuildSmart then now. In BuildSmart procurement, I'm going to log in. First, I'm just going to switch to administration. Under administration, under utilities, Candy set transfer setup. You'll see there we have the same organization, Candy Demo, and I'm just simply going to test this connection. Connection has been successful. I'll then click on OK and then switch to procurement. Click on OK. Under additional utilities, there's an option to import Candy resources. Over here, you'll see my project 009. I'll click on import. If there was a unit mismatch, this would then prompt you to map the unit mismatch to the units in BuildSmart. All my units have already been defined, so I therefore do not have to do that. If you would require to only import one specific resource, maybe there's an option to filter. So you'll just go here, resource name, type in the resource that you would like to filter, click on search, and then you can import only the specific resource. I do not want to do that as this is a new project, so I'm going to remove the filter, load all of them. You'll see that my resources are all marked as new. I'll simply click on import and click on OK. And now my import has been done successfully. I will now show you how to do a standard requisition using a Candy Build item. Before I do that, I just want to explain the restrictions before mentioned. The Candy sends the resource quantity, the resource rate, and the usage amount to BuildSmart. Therefore, we have restrictions set up that allows the user not to be able to procure a higher quantity than budgeted. The user will also not be able to raise a requisition at a higher rate than budgeted. The user will not be able to raise a requisition at a higher amount than budgeted. I will briefly explain these checks in my next step. To create a requisition, I'll then go to Create New Standard Requisition. I'll then click on Add a Candy item, select my contract 009, click on Search. This will load all the resources. As you can see, all my resources are listed here with their unit, their quantity, their wastage amount, their rate, etc. Therefore, if you manage your quantities correctly, your waste could actually become additional profit. I'm now going to create a requisition for 30 MPa concrete, so I'm going to just go in the resource description and type in there 30 MPa and click on search. Now you can see that there's an allowable quantity of 45.1 cubes, a wastage of 1.1. Therefore, if I try to create a requisition for 50 cubes, I will not be able to create the requisition live. So if I type in 50, add item, click on OK, the tendered quantity has been reached. I can therefore not exceed the quantity. Only once a quantity less than the allowables into the requisition line will be created. So if I type in there 20 cubes, for example, click on add, click on OK, my requisition item will be created. I will now allocate an activity code to this item. So I just load all my activities, go to concrete. You'll see the cost code is already populated. I'll then select a supplier from my supplier database, select a delivery address. Before I process this, I will just want to show you the rate restriction. So as you can see, the original price in Candy is 975. I'll therefore try and purchase at 1,000 Rand. If I click on save and go to list now, this message will pop up. The price you have entered on line 1, 1,000, is more than the estimated price. It must be less than or equal to 970. I will therefore go and type in the 970, click on add item, and now my requisition has been created. Please note that the restriction only applies to certain users. Therefore, if a mistake was made at estimate and the cement has to be purchased at a higher rate, someone with an access rule that allows items to exceed the rates and quantity can still raise the requisition. Once the requisition has been raised and above checks and satisfies above checks, the requisition will now be submitted and approved, and the cost will be captured against the project. So you can see if I open this requisition, there is a summary of the resource information, the resource description, the original quantity, the total allowable, the to date ordered, the remaining, and the original price. From here on, you'll simply just follow the standard processes. So you'll submit the requisition and it will go through to approval. And that is how you create a requisition in BuildSmart using a Candy resource. Now I will show you how to price VOs and update the resources in BuildSmart. To do that, I'll switch to Candy. I'll set up my first valuation. I'll go to my valuation order pricing. I'm going to add a page to my last at the end of my bill, and I'm going to simply price my VO. The VO that I'm going to price is an additional 20 cubes of concrete encasement. I'll therefore go to my price code and simply type in my price code for my concrete encasement, put in my final quantity. Please note that a VO only has a final quantity and no bill quantity. I will then go to my definitions and settings. Under my VO codes, I'll just define my VO number 1. Click on OK. Allocate my VO code to this VO. You will see we have an option to mark this VO as approved and unapproved. If this VO is not marked as approved, the money will not be sent to Candy Cost and Allowables for cost reporting. I will simply approve my VO, and now I need to send my revised list to BuildSmart. So under valuations, it's also found under advanced, BuildSmart integration, transfer budget and resources. Click on yes. Once this has been done successfully, I'll go back to BuildSmart procurement. Under import Candy resources, there will be a new line item for project number 009. I'll click on import, click on OK. You will now see that all the items that not have been changed will be marked as unchanged. BuildSmart will therefore not update these resources, but if I filter out for the resource that I know was used in my concrete encasement, you'll see that this item has been marked as updated. So if I click on import now, click on OK. Now my buyer has a revised list with all the new quantities for procurement. Next, we are going to do a subcontractor certificate. To do that, I'll go back to Candy, go to my subcontract manager, open my subcontract manager. You'll see that I created a package for Tulas, and Tulas has a subcontractor code and, very important, a subcontractor cost code. If I open the package, you'll see that there's items allocated to him at a specific rate and a specific quantity. Then I will transfer the certificate number 1 for payment. To do that, I first need to just do progress. So to do that, I'll go to my blue book, click on the progress update. You'll see that I already populated his information for certificate number 1 for payment. So I'll go to my subcontract manager, right click on the package, go to BuildSmart integration and select transfer certificate. Click on OK. Now I'll go to BuildSmart procurement. The following steps only need to be done for certificate number 1, and that is to map the subcontractor from Candy to the correct subcontractor in BuildSmart's subcontractor database. To do that, I'll go to procurement, additional utilities, subcontract import. You'll see that for project 009, there's a subcontractor there. I'll click on import, click on OK. I'll select from my database the correct subcontractor, Tulas Multi-Services, and click on import. I will now need to go and approve this subcontract reconciliation. So I'll go to status, subcontractor requisitions. You'll see that for the project 009, there's a subcontract requisition now for Tulas at the total value of his project. I will then click on submit requisition, click on OK, and then I'll click on this red arrow, red tick to approve this requisition. Now I can go and process his certificates from certificate number 1 onwards. This is done in accounting. So I'll therefore switch to BuildSmart accounting, log in, in BuildSmart accounting, I will go to contracts management, subcontractor reconciliations. I'll search for my project, which is 009, and then you'll see there's a subcontractor for Tulas Multi-Services available on this project. I will then click on edit, and you'll see that there's no certificate available. I will then go back to subcontract reconciliation, refresh my certificates, and this is not here. I therefore, after reconciliation, need to send the certificate again. I'll go to Candy, right click, transfer certificate, click on yes, click on OK, go back to BuildSmart accounting, refresh my certificates, click on OK. You'll see that there's 3 available now. I'll now go into Tulas for project 009 again, select edit, and now there's an import available. I'll click on import Candy certificate, select the correct certificate, click on import, click on OK. Now you'll see that the subcontractor information has been populated with his current certificate, the amount due, etc. I will now click on save and exit, and then click on this green cross. Just want to show you guys what it says there, to post the certificate. Once the certificate has been posted, it will now go through the standard approval process for payment. Now we're going to look at importing actual cost from BuildSmart to Candy. The project's accrued cost and actual cost are captured in BuildSmart cost accounting system. Can be directly imported into Candy cost and allowables as mentioned. To do that, we will go to Candy Services. In BuildSmart Accounting, I'll go to Candy Services and then Actual Upload. I'm not going to do it for my project 009 as there's not a lot of cost captured against it as yet. I will therefore do it for project number 10510. I'll go search for project 10510. I will select the correct accrued date, select upload costs only, click on upload, click on OK, and my upload has been completed successfully. Now I will go to Candy, go to the correct project, go to cost and allowables, advanced, BuildSmart integration, set contract number, just confirm that it's the correct contract. Then under the blue book, go to cost import, select tools, import cost to date from BuildSmart. Select the contract number, green tick. Candy will then connect to the server, and then you select the most recent upload, which is this one. I'll select import, and now my information has been imported. Before I can release the costs, I first need to check that all the task codes and cost codes are correct and aligned with my Candy project. Before I'll do that, I'm just going to explain the columns that we have available here. You will see we have a column for reallocation. Costs that have been misallocated can be corrected. The total for this column must always add up to 0. So you can reallocate costs if required. Then we have an option for accruals. Known costs that have not been captured through the project, for example, materials, subcontractors, salaries and wages, plant hire, can be captured here. Then subcontract liabilities. The difference between the subcontract payment amount and due amount will be captured here. Materials, if there's any materials that have been pre-purchased but not claimable to the current valuation, you can put that there. Any contra charges, residuals, others. And then you have also a place where you can make some notes. Once all the adjustments has been done and you are happy with the information, you will click on check import data. We will just check the task and cost codes, green tick, and then it's going to give us the error, and this cost code has 0 costs allocated to it, so we'll just simply delete it. Click on OK, abandon the filter, check the information again. Information has been successful. Now we can release this to Candy Cost and Allowables for cost reporting. To do that, I'll click on Tools, Release Cost and Allowables, click on OK. I'll close this document, click on the blue book again, go to Cost and Allowables by period. Now for this project, on a cost code level, I can see my to-date cost, remaining cost, and my cost at completion. I can also go into items and at an activity level, view my costs. And that is how you do cost reporting in Candy using your cost in BuildSmart. Similar to this can be done in BuildSmart. In Candy Cost and Allowables, you can go Advanced, BuildSmart Integration, Transfer Budget and Resources. This only needs to be done once. So if you've already done it at estimation stage, you are not required to do it again. After you've done that, we'll go to BuildSmart Accounts. Candy Services, and then Direct Budget Import. I will then select my project, which is not here, so the cost has not been released yet. So I'll go Advanced, BuildSmart Integration, Transfer. Click on OK, go back to BuildSmart Accounts, just refresh this page, and now my project's costs are there. I'll click on Import, click on OK. This will now be my budget document. Click on Import. Are you sure you want to import? Yes, I am. Once the import has been done successfully, the user can do a few cost reporting in BuildSmart at an activity budget level. I'm going to show you a few of the reports that we have available. The first report, so we'll go to cost reporting. The first is activity budget resource. You will select the correct information, the contract code, print. This report will then at a cost code level show you your actual, your budget, and your variance based on your activity code and your cost code. The next report we're going to look at is the budget with ledger code report. So to do that, we'll go to cost reporting as well, and then select the report required. I just had to update my reports there. Go to cost report, new budget cost report, print. And this will then show my cost report for this period. Lastly, the report that we're going to look at is one of the most powerful reports in BuildSmart, and that is the key commodities report. That will also be found under cost reporting, key commodities, I will then select the project that I would like to print my key commodities report for. I'll select, it can be printed for multiple. I just want to be printed for this one project, and then I'll select print. This report will then show you your final estimated quantity, your final estimated rate, your final estimated allowable amount, your actuals, your actual amount, your actual allowable quantity, your allowable to date remaining amount, as well as your profit and loss due to purchase above or below the final estimated amount, up until a resource level. Thank you for your time, and I trust that you now have a better insight into the integration of Candy with BuildSmart. There is loads more reports available in Candy and BuildSmart that uses this imported information. Please email your queries to your local CCS office if you want to know more about the integration. We will keep you informed of the next webinar, and remember, if you are not able to join the mentioned time, please register for the webinar and you will receive a copy of the recording, which you can be viewed later based on your convenience. Have a great day. Goodbye for now.